Welcome back, friends, to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick, and on this channel I talk about cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and economics. Today's video is another video about the Cosmos ecosystem. Specifically, I'll be taking a look at Osmosis once more and going through every project on Osmosis in detail, looking at what that project does, the tokenomics if they're available, as well as some other interesting information. By the way, before I start on that, I know that market conditions have been rocky recently. Part of the reason why I delayed this video from a couple days ago. I just want to emphasize that on this channel, I do not give day trading advice. Well, I don't give any financial advice, but in particular, I do not talk about day trading. All of my holds I'm looking at for long-term fundamental value investments. So if I'm talking about a coin and I think that it's good, I'm not saying that I think the price will go up tomorrow or next week. These are projects that I think are fundamentally strong. With those caveats being out of the way, let's jump into it. So Osmosis Zone, one of our favorite dexes, phenomenal rewards. This is once again the dex of Cosmos ecosystem. If you're not familiar with Cosmos you could think of as either a layer 0 or some people say layer 0.5. And what it is basically a ecosystem of blockchains, each with their unique purpose. And Atom token is it secures the hub, the Cosmos hub, which is used to exchange between all of the blockchains and to secure everything. So I won't go too much into Atom because there's a lot of information on that. And if you're looking at these smaller coins, you're probably already somewhat familiar with Atom. But Osmosis Zone is the DEX on Atom, as I mentioned. And so the first token that we'll look at is the Osmo token. So you can see here, Atom Osmo is it's a great pool. I have some in this myself. And Osmosis Zone is pretty much this DEX right now. They may come out with other products in the future, but to look a bit at the tokenomics, it's essentially a governance token. So you can vote on protocol upgrades. You can allocate liquidity mining rewards. So they have a thing built in where projects can provide liquidity mining rewards beyond just the Osmo token. They can also provide their own token as a liquidity mining reward, and you can set the base network swap fee. So lots of good stuff there, pretty standard for a governance token. One thing that's interesting is that they are transitioning into a Cosmos Hub shared security zone. So I'm expecting this token will probably have more use, and I'm expecting that as many of these tokens do, it will scale with the value of the DEX. Perhaps they'll come out with some more ways to make money from it, or to capture value, and you can stake the token as well. So that's Osmo. Pretty straightforward. I won't go into all the details of the DEX because I've done that before. Moving on, because there's a lot of tokens that we're going to cover today, we have Ion. So this one is definitely the token that I could find the least information on. Really, the only thing I could find is a price chart. It says so. Right now, it's $4,000, and its value has been pretty good over the summer, climbing from $1,000 up to all the way to $5,000, back down to around $4,000 now. Trading view. Oh, there's no trading view. I remember that now. So this is it. As far as I know, this is a native token launched on Osmo. There's some speculation around on the internet of what it might be for, but it seems honestly like no one really knows. It's just used for providing liquidity. And honestly, the APR isn't even that good. So, well, look at how spoiled we are doing DeFi that I say 170s is not that good. But I mean, come on, compared to some of these other ones like Atom Osmo, which Atom is a much stronger coin with a known use case. I would say this APR is not that good compared to the others. I searched for a while and I could not find what this token is for. I couldn't find a website. So all I know is that it's there, and maybe I think there's only like 20,000 of them or something like that. Perhaps you want to make a risky bet on it, but I personally stayed away from this. Yeah, there you go, 21,000. All right, so let's get on to some of the good ones now, because that one's not too exciting. So next we have AKT, and this is one of my favorites for sure. AKT is the Akash network. So you can see this is their website. They say deploy faster, scale quickly, censorship resistant, love that, permissionless, love that, and self-sovereign, also love that. So this is really cool. Basically what Akash network does is it's a decentralized cloud computing service. So you could think of it as almost like Amazon Cloud, except rather than having a massive server in the desert, they have these little miniature supercomputers that anyone can set up and run as a node, and then when people need to use computation power from the network, they would compute it on those mini supercomputers. So I think that's pretty cool, and you can see their market is developers here. So you don't need to talk about setting up, configuring, and managing servers. I'm not going to go through all of these details, but you can imagine the use case on this. There's been a lot of cases recently where Amazon or Google or Microsoft revoked someone's cloud computational license because either for political reasons or there's been cases where because the person was doing something in cryptocurrency and the country had regulations on cryptocurrency, so they said, okay, we're cutting off your license to use our services. But with Akash, that wouldn't be possible. So this is a crucial step towards building a truly decentralized internet and a decentralized world. I mean, I would venture to say that an application isn't truly decentralized unless its backend is hosted in a way that's decentralized, because otherwise there's still a single point of failure that could be taken down. So that's what Akash does in a nutshell. But the even better thing is that the token actually has some interesting tokenomics. So the AKT token, as I mentioned before, so basically this is saying in a much more eloquent way what I just explained. So this is the platform's native utility token used as the primary means to govern, secure the blockchain, incentivize participants, and provide a default mechanism to store and exchange value. Nothing too revolutionary so far. Governance, we've all seen. Incentivization. So this is people who are nodes in the network. They, of course, want to get paid. Value exchange, so people who are buying and selling services, it's the default value of exchange. But here is what I find very interesting. Take income. Once the network achieves more significant gross merchandise value, rewards will comprise inflationary rewards and include a share of total network spend take income that users pay. So that is very interesting, because that means that as this service grows, if this becomes a massive cloud computational player, then you as an AKT token holder will actually receive some of that revenue. I think that could be quite powerful, and this is a massive market. I mean, if you're not familiar, Amazon actually makes most of their profit from their web services. At one point, I'm not sure if this is still the case, they were actually making more than 100% of their profit from their web services because they were losing money on everything else. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but that was at one point. But that's how profitable cloud computational service is. And if you want to basically have a stake in the future income of a upcoming cloud computational service, Akash does that. All right, so that is Akash. Definitely recommend checking that out. And of course, as always, do your own research. Let's see, how many more do we have? We have DVPN, Iris, CRO, XPRT, Regen. Okay, so we have quite a few more. DVPN, that is the Sentinel network. Let's see, as soon as this page loads, perhaps they need to host on Akash. There we go, Sentinel. So the blockchain bandwidth infrastructure. Sentinel ecosystem is a global network of autonomous DVPN applications that enable private and censorship-resistant internet access. That was a mouthful. DVPN, which I assume stands for decentralized VPN. Basically, it's a decentralized VPN network. They have these miners that allow you to devote part of your bandwidth to providing a VPN for people that are using it. So if you're not familiar with a VPN, basically what it does is if you want to hide that you're going to a website, or perhaps you want to access a website that blocks American users, as many cryptocurrency sites do. If you want to use Binance.com, for example, or certain IDO websites, Avalanche, don't allow Americans to use them, you might want to use a VPN that tells the website that you're in Russia or even Mexico, and then the website will allow you in since you won't have a US IP address. And so what the VPN does is it bounces your, basically routes you through other IP addresses in various places, so that way someone who was trying to figure out where you were from, they would either not be able to figure it out, or they would get the wrong place. That's essentially what VPNs do, and I'm actually shocked that this project hasn't gotten more traction, and that VPN project hasn't gotten traction sooner, since this is, as far as I can tell, one of the most obvious use cases for blockchain technology. So many VPNs that have come out, people thought they were completely secure. You've had governments subpoena them, and then the VPN surprise releases the information on users to the government. But with a decentralized VPN, there's no one to be subpoenaed, and there's no one with that information, so it would be significantly more secure. I mean, this is an incredible breakthrough in security technology, if you ask me. And I'll go through the tokenomics in a second, but you can see you can stake it as well for 61% APY. I mean, I like the 215% if it's paired with Osmo, or the 165% if it's paired with Atom. But if you want to stake it by itself, it has quite nice APY as well. And then you can see that they allow people to monetize their bandwidth. Let's take a look at the tokenomics of this one now. So token utility, it is a governance and staking token. It's the default medium of payment for both the regular and advanced services. And it's also a work token. So this is just some various, literature on how governance and staking works. But the part that I'm looking for is here. So you can see that token holders can stake the token and earn rewards. So they're providing security of the network since it's proof of stake, and they're earning rewards as well. And then this is the part that I really like. So this is similar to Akash. Highlight that. So the exchange for the VPN services that Sentinel provides happen on their network, and the revenue from that is generated by node hosts, and that goes towards people that are staking their tokens. And you can see, here we go, a portion of the pool is paid out to token stakers. So that's pretty cool. I love how this project is also capturing value in the token. And that is, there's a lot of technical details. If you're an IT person, you'll probably have a field day learning about this project. But again, nutshell, decentralized VPN, and the token captures value. I think the inflation may be decently high on this, so just watch out for that. That is DVPN. Next up, we have Iris. So irisnet.org is their website. Let's see, it'll just refresh. Oh, it's their second anniversary. So they've been around for a bit. Tech Grants Program, IrisNet. So basically what this project is it's a network of business to business applications. So they have a lot of things on here about business services offered by heterogeneous system, as well as public and consortium chains, etc. Basically, this project is doing a lot of different things. As far as I can tell, what they're trying to do is build a system for businesses to build blockchain applications that combine off-chain data and on-chain data, and potentially that need to kind of leverage multiple different blockchains to accomplish their goal, which is why it has to be on Cosmos. Truthfully, and you can see they talk about interoperability across an internet of blockchains, but truthfully, this project seems a little bit all over the place. If anyone's from Iris is watching this and wants to kind of clarify for me exactly what they're focused on, that would be helpful. But it seems they've got NFT, Oracle, CoinSwap, iService. There's a lot going on. I'm sure the team is solid, but yeah, there's let's just say there's a lot going on here. And to look at the token economics real quickly, since we're covering that, once again, I mean, this is positive. It's a staking token, so you can stake it and earn rewards that way, but it's also a fee token. So you use it to pay for fees, service fees, and oh, excuse me. I actually don't think you receive a portion of the fees on this one. So yeah, as far as I can tell, you do not receive a portion of the fees on Iris. I'll move on from this one because, like I said, it's a bit all over the place. Do your own research, check it out. I know some people are extremely bullish on it, but I spent a while on that one and it just didn't. It was tough to figure out exactly what they do, and that's all I'll say about that. Next one is one you may be familiar with. That's CRO, Crypto.com. If you're not familiar, Crypto.com is one of the largest exchanges. They have over 10 million users selling 90 cryptocurrencies. It's actually one of my favorite exchanges. Before my phone broke, I used it on my phone as one of my main ways of exchanging cryptocurrency. And it's just a really sleek app with a lot of coins, especially coins that are difficult to find in the United States. So, but anyways, if you don't know that their coin CRO is built on Cosmos, and you can provide liquidity with it and swap it and stake it. Well, not stake it, but provide liquidity with it on Osmosis. So that's pretty cool. This token has great utility in the app in order to get referral bonuses and get other sorts of perks, reduced fees in the app. You need to have a certain number of CRO coins. So I find that pretty good. That's going to create a constant demand for it. I believe you may need some as well to get to get maximum rewards on the Visa card, unless something has changed. It's just overall, it's a very solid project. They also have their own NFT network. Let's see, it's probably going to take forever to load because the resolution never miss a drop. Oh, that's clever. But they have their NFT network, and they've got some very solid names on here. Aston Martin, Snoop Dogg. I'm not familiar with the other ones, but they've got some big NFTs, tens of thousands of dollars. Snoop Dogg, A-list names. So they're doing things, and they have their own network. They're also launching their own Kronos mainnet next month. So the Kronos mainnet is going to be their EVM chain running parallel to the Crypto.org chain. However, it is still using the CRO token as far as I know. So that is pretty cool. And if you want to stake provide liquidity with CRO, you can do that over on Osmosis. Moving on, next we have XPRT, not related to XRP. This is the persistence network. So PRT, persistence, X, I guess, to differentiate it. And this is pretty neat. This is basically they build DeFi tools that leverage asset classes that include cryptocurrency, but also include things that you wouldn't normally trade with cryptocurrency. So, for example, they have their ComDEX, which is a decentralized commodities trading solution. And you may say, well, why does that need to be on cryptocurrency? Why does that need to be on blockchain? Anyone who's ever traded commodities or traded Forex or anything like that will tell you how difficult it is to transfer things cross-border, and the fees sometimes are just insane. ComDEX takes that out of it. I believe it's fully KYC, but it's also, since it's decentralized, it would take some of the third-party risk out of it as well. They also have Audit One, which is staking as a service. So basically a way for asset managers to provide fixed income returns using staking as an asset class. So pretty cool. So providing some services for cryptocurrency as well. P-Stake, this is a new thing they launched. This allows liquid staking. So if you're staking your coins in certain places, then sometimes there's a delay between when you want to unstake them and when you actually receive them. Luna, for example, requires 21 days. So once you unstake it, you have to wait. P-Stake is a solution to provide some liquidity for that. And then they have an interchain NFT framework as well. I don't know too much about this, but I know that interchain NFTs are going to be big. So as you can see, basically, they're providing people DeFi tools that involve commodities, staking as an asset class, staking liquidity, NFTs, etc. So you could think of them as almost like a DeFi tool that's geared towards more traditional finance people. And they've got some big backers as well, backed by Terra, backed by Alameda, backed by Ledger, etc., etc. And let's see. So here's their vision. Next gen financial products and bridging the realms of DeFi and traditional finance. That's what I would think of this as. And then you could go into all the details, but they have some strong projects out already, expecting some more in the future. So let's see, what does the token do? First thing it does is it's a work token. So stakers of XPRT receive benefit from the economic activity taking place within the persistence ecosystem. They have a revenue sharing, transaction volume based fee agreements with all the dApps in the system. So the dApps are providing some of their fees to persistence. And then these rewards get transferred back to stakers. So that's pretty cool. That is right up front there, direct value capture for the XPRT token. It's also, of course, the staking token. It says up to 35% annual staking rewards. I don't know if this is on top of the fees or if this is, the fees can only go up to 35%. I'd be very interested to see that, but I was unable to find that information. And then it's governance, of course, governance of the network. That is persistence. We're making some good progress on this. I suppose it's been 20 minutes, but we're making some good progress. We just have 2 more projects left. The next one is Regen. So Regen is the Regen Network. Now, this is pretty unique because this project actually combines agriculture with cryptocurrency. And agriculture is one of my hobbies outside of this, so this interested me a lot. Every weekend I helped set up this permaculture farm, which is actually the sort of regenerative agriculture they mention here. So I was interested in this project on a personal level. And essentially what this does is it allows land stewards, which could be a farmer, could be a rancher, could be someone who's just buying and looking to replenish the land. And basically what it does is if they get a verified soil test to confirm that they are regenerating the land, then they can receive incentives and trade incentives through this network, and that includes things like certain government-related carbon credits, as well as some other things like that. And basically, if you're not familiar with regenerative agriculture, to give a bit more background on that, most modern agriculture depletes the soil. So if you don't rotate crops, if you don't have appropriate ground cover, and so on and so forth, then it's pulling nutrients out of the soil. It might be allowing erosion as well. It might be pulling carbon out of the soil. However, if you set up your farm properly, you have ground cover to prevent erosion and trap water in the soil. You have nitrogen fixing plants to put nitrogen from the atmosphere into the soil, and you properly bring in grazing animals and those things like that, who of course leave droppings on the ground. Then you can actually increase the soil layer over time. You can increase the amount of nutrients. You can increase the amount of water, etc. And so I thought Regen is pretty cool because it provides a way for people who do that to capture some value by verifying that they did increase the quality of the soil, and then having that recorded on the blockchain and being able to exchange value on there. So, and this is all about ecosystem service credits. And they talk about carbon credits as well, because the plants that pull carbon out and put it into the ground, those would, I suppose, generate carbon credits. I'm not sure which country they're actually in. Australia, there we go. That's what I thought. Yeah, so I guess you can get carbon credits in Australia. That's enough. That's your science lesson for today. That's enough about that. Let's look at the tokenomics. So it says it's designed to ensure utility for ecological data and climate markets. It's on Osmosis, of course. Total token supply. Let's see, so 38 million private sale to community. So this is, I wonder how decentralized this really was, private sale to community. Who was in that community? The advisors have a decent amount, but I mean, it doesn't really seem that high. Sometimes you see projects where most of the money is held by the team. Yeah, so those are the owners, but let's see the staking. So staking generates a reward for delegators, and they accrue yields between 7 and 40% APY. That is a massive difference. And since there's such a difference, I imagine that has to do with how much value the network is generating, because those rewards would go back to stakers. This is such a unique project. Honestly, my thought is, to be frank, I feel like this will either be huge or this will go nowhere. I'm not up for making a prediction on that, so do your own research on it. I think it's a cool project. I personally haven't invested in it, but it's a cool project, and perhaps if you're interested in regenerative agriculture, this would appeal to you. That is Regen Network. Finally, last but not least, we have IOV, which is confusingly the token for Starname, website starname.me. And what this token does is basically, it's the token that you use to pay for services as well as to secure the network on Starname. And what Starname does is it allows you to register they call it a star name, but basically it's a name for your cryptocurrency wallet, specifically your Kepler wallet or some other Cosmos wallet. Similar to how Ethereum, you can get like the .eth name. You can get a star name, which would be an asterisk, and then the name on here. And you can see, for example, if you have a star name that you want to get, you can type it in here, and it will tell you whether it's available. And once you do that, your chosen identity is now yours, and you can share and receive digital assets. So this project is kind of cool. I mean, eventually, I think probably everyone will use some sort of name for their cryptocurrency wallet. Imagine the difference between needing to type in someone's specific IP address to send them some sort of information versus typing in an email. And I know your email, if you use Gmail, isn't tied to your IP address, but just consider that difference. Having an email that you can say over the phone versus having numbers that, you could say those over the phone. It would just take a long time. I imagine that eventually everyone will send cryptocurrency using some sort of name like this. And so some project that does that's going to be big. Will it be Starname? I do not know. And then as far as the tokenomics of their token, so you might say, well, why do they need to have a token? And essentially their logic is, well, here they say, why does it need a token? And that's because it is an independent blockchain, so it needs a token to incentivize and keep providing the service in the long run. And basically the use of the token is that you use it to both provide security in the network, but also to pay for these services. So if you click on Get Your Star Name Now, okay, well that's going to take a while, but essentially, okay, it doesn't show it on there, but I checked earlier somewhere on the website, and it costs about 70 IOV to get their premium star name, and that is around the time I'm making this something I want to say like maybe like $4. So it's really not too much. Some of that value will accrue back to IOV stakers. So that's cool. You are capturing value. How much value? I don't know. I mean, if tens of millions of people use this and buy star names, then we're talking hundreds of millions of IOV that's being paid as fees. So that'll be a huge amount of demand, and then the portion of those fees will get paid back to stakers. So in that case, it could be quite valuable. But there's a long way to go between now and then. So do your own research, decide if it's a project that you believe in, and if you do so, then you can buy their IOV token on Osmosis. Wow, that was a lot of tokens. Those were all the incentivized pools. There's some other various pools on here, but those are the tokens. Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. This token, this pool has 3 different tokens in there. Yeah, but those are the pools on Osmosis. There's a lot more coming soon. Luna's coming. I believe some other networks and maybe linking in. But in the meantime, that's what you have. That's all for today. Let me know what you think about these projects. I know this video was a bit longer than I usually do, but there was a lot to cover. If you're going to buy any of these projects, or you want to learn more about any of them, or you have more information, if you know what Ion does, please say so in the comments, because I've been dying to know. Until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.